Hello and welcome to Cyberpunk 2077. So you're tuning into this awesome game. If you're wondering whether you should buy it or not, I did do a previous video on my thoughts on this game and whether you should buy it or not. I did a quick review, so yeah, be sure to check out the channel for that. But today, a little bit of a spoiler alert. So if you don't want to know anything about the story, then do make sure you stop watching shortly. Because I'm going to be going through some of the storylines. And there's 3 to choose from at the beginning of the game, and you're probably wondering what's the best to pick. So you got Nomad, Street Kid and Corporate. We're going to start off with Nomad. So these sort of storylines do vary on where you start in the game. So Nomad, you start off in the Badlands. You're part of a cult that sort of, their motto is like free will, things like that. You will come to this later on in the story, but you start off here as a bit of a rebel. You're looking at leaving the gang. You want to venture into the city. So you sort of leave, as you can see. You rip off a badge. You don't want to do it anymore. So the positives of this is when you do visit this area later on in the game, you will have better reputation here, obviously. But yeah, that's a variable. So how does it start off? You start off, you have a mission to smuggle something into the big city with Jackie. It all goes terribly wrong. You get captured, and that's the issue. What the job is to get this gecko across the border, I believe. I haven't picked this storyline yet, so I've just done a little bit of research on it. And that's really it. Your sort of storyline starts off in the Badlands. You've got to sneak something across to the corporate city, and the government are called this, that, the other. So it's different. Street Kid. This is the one I personally picked, and if I'm going to say anything, I think this is probably the best one. It's a bit of a mediocre storyline to pick. So you start off on the streets, and you're in with all the gangs. You know some of the kingpins. You know the streets in and out, which is where you're going to spend priority of your sort of storyline, which is why I think this is probably the best. So you come back to the city after being away for a while, and you start talking to kingpins to get work, to get recognised. One of them gives you a job to steal a car, and this is where you then meet Jackie. Jackie is also trying to steal the same car and interrupts you doing this job, and the police rock up and arrest you both. This is where your friendship starts, rather than you and Jackie trying to get across the border like up in the Nomad storyline. So you're sort of not really friends, you're sort of a bit of enemies to begin with, and yeah, you get arrested. This storyline is a lot of streetwise and it's quite good. So Corpo or Corporate, whatever you want to call it. This is where you are sort of bad, I would say. I don't know much about this storyline, but you're working for the corporate people and you want to get out of there. You don't agree with their ethics, but you're here. You're sort of office staff to this sort of evil company. So you meet Jackie while you're throwing your guts up in the sink, and he wants to help you out and help you get out of there because he also knows it's corrupt. So there's the sort of main sort of storylines, and again, with the corporate sort of storyline, your abilities of dealing with higher management and people is improved, where Street Cred, you obviously have better street knowledge when you come into dialogue. That's all it really changes, is your knowledge within dialogue through the campaign. There are different stories, so if you want us to do 3 different saves, then obviously go ahead and do it. I recommend Street Cred because that's where you're going to spend most of your time, so that's the middle sort of storyline you want to pick. I feel like that's going to benefit you the most. Obviously this is open to discussion and people have their own opinions and things like that. But like I say, this storyline, you're sort of portraying an employee. So you're framing an employee of something that they have done, and you want to get out of there because you don't agree with all the bio stuff that they do and all the nasty stuff that they're doing. And basically it all goes corrupt, and you sort of get out of the business basically. And that's basically it. So I just want to say, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying this game, then don't forget to drop me a thumbs up and subscribe. The channel's grown really massively over the last couple of days. And yeah, so if you've enjoyed it, again, drop a thumbs up. Don't forget to check the channel out, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Just want to say thank you for watching. Please go check out some more videos, and don't forget to subscribe, support the channel, and stay tuned for more.